Ever found yourself in the middle of a disagreement, wondering how to keep the connection strong despite having a conflict? Just as Dorothy Thomas mentioned, peace is not without conflict, but the ability to cope with it. It is impossible to live without any conflict, disagreement, or dispute. It will always be there, and it is just a part of life. But how we handle it can make all the difference. There is a section in this book, Supercommunicators, that talks about connecting amidst conflict, which inspired me to make this video because we lose so much in a fight with others, often over small stuff, but lead to bad consequences, losing our precious connection and relationship with the people we love, our partners, our friends, our family. So let's learn together. How can we navigate through those tough moments and keep those connections intact? We must first figure out why this conflict exists and then work together to reach to a mutual understanding about why this argument matters and what is needed for this to end. In every fight, we often see it as one conflict, but it is not just one conflict. At a minimum, two. First will be the surface issue that is causing us to disagree with each other, and then we have the emotional conflict underneath. Remember, emotions are always there, influencing how we react and respond. People always try to solve the surface issue and forgot that emotion is part of the equation. Ignoring them will only make things worse. In a conflict, in a fight, we learn why we are fighting by discussing emotions. The emotional conflicts are hard to pin down because sometimes people don't show their emotions. However, we cannot neglect emotions because they are incredibly powerful and it could be the driving force behind a fight. If you don't acknowledge emotions, you will never understand why you are fighting. You will never know what all this is about. An example from the book, a couple arguing about having another kid. The top level conflict, the surface issue will be, you want another kid and I don't. This seems to explain why they are fighting. It seems very obvious. People often overlook the emotion of their companion, only to focus on solving the surface issue. But remember, every fight has at least two conflicts. And the second conflict here is the emotional conflicts, where the couple having different thoughts on having another kid. The emotion will be like, I'm angry because you are prioritizing a kid over my career. I'm scared another kid will bankrupt us. I'm frustrated because you don't seem to care what I want. So you see, fear, anger, frustration. People don't always show the true emotions underneath. In a conflict, we draw out emotions by proving that we are listening, but we don't always know how to prove that we are listening. What we usually do is nodding our head when we agree with what people are saying and trying our best to keep constant eye contact to show that we are actually paying attention. However, this might not work because imagine that you are the speaker. When we are speaking, we are actually so focused on what we are going to talk next. Our brain is processing information from time to time. We are actually trying to express our thoughts and ideas. So unconsciously, we actually focus more on ourselves than the signal that the listener trying to convey. Now, let's switch back to be a listener. We should demonstrate that we are listening after the speaker finishes speaking so that they are more likely to catch the signals that we are trying to convey. The author introduced looping for understanding. After the speaker finishes speaking, we start by asking questions. If you are in doubt, if you are unclear about anything, then ask to confirm. Next, summarize what you heard. This is to ensure that you guys are on the same page. Then, ask if you are right. If yes, the speaker will likely to be more calm now because you are actually listening and understand that the issue that he's trying to convey as well as the emotion involved. Else, if you don't catch it, look back to the first step and repeat the process. It is very important to establish a mutual understanding and connection here. Another important element to take into consideration, that is control. If you pay close attention during a fight, a conflict, or a disagreement, people are always trying to take charge. They crave for control. They want to be in control. But trying to control someone is destructive. Furthermore, it won't actually work during a fight. Not at all. So instead of trying to control the other person, try to control this instead. Yourself, the environment, and the conflict boundary. Control your emotions. Work hard to stay calm. Take a break if you are angry or upset. Write down your emotion instead of shouting. Always work on yourself first. If you can't even control yourself, then you probably shouldn't even try to control the situation. Seriously. Next, we have environment. Always be aware of the situation. Don't start a fight when a conflict arose. If you or your companion is not calm, wasn't really able to manage the emotion, wasn't really able to control the emotions, then it is wise to wait until you are at a safer setting. Talk about it again when you guys are calmer and ready. Lastly, you must understand the conflict boundary. This is super important. Focus on solving the current issue. Alright, always remember this. Don't bleed into other issues. This often happens when a couple is having a fight. They tend to bring out all the things that they are not happy with, but not related to the current issue. Don't do this. Remember, don't bleed into other issues, else you won't be able to solve the current problem you have, and this will create even more conflicts, making things even worse. Well, this is not rocket science. It is not super hard to control the situation and stay connected amidst conflict. However, knowing this will not stop you from getting into conflict. It will always be there. But it is rather important to learn and equip yourself with the knowledge to deal with conflict better. The ideas for today's video are very simple. The looping for understanding and knowing that you should not attempt to control someone during a fight. Instead, control yourself, your environment, and also the conflict boundary. That's it for this video. I hope this video helped you in managing conflict better so that you can have stronger relationship with your partner, your friends, your family, and all the people around you. Hit the like button if you think this video is helpful, share to your friends and family, and subscribe for more of my future videos. Until then, let's grow our minds together. Bye bye.